For ages I haven't posted a video up on YouTube. There's literally not been anything going on that's worthwhile posting videos about. And today I thought I'd show you a little bit of Tewkesbury that isn't this sort of medieval centre, what you might call a tourist centre bit of Tewkesbury, which, with all the medieval buildings up on the left there, is incredibly attractive town centre. But there's another side to Tewkesbury as well, and it's the industrial side, which is, a bit not grittier, but it's a bit more sort of normal, a normal town. And in fact, there's lots to recommend Tewkesbury. If you're thinking of starting up a business, there's lots to recommend Tewkesbury because it's got a surprisingly large industrial area. Just outside of town, attached to the town really. And we're going to go there today, and here we are, we've just gone up Barton Street and we're coming to Morrison's on the left, which is where I sort of walk up to quite a few days to get my shopping. But as we go out of town here, we're going to come up to, we are headed to a place called Bod's Custom Cycles, and the whole reason for this trip is the motorbike I'm on is due its MOT test in the middle of next month. The MOT in the UK is, an annual test to make sure that your brakes are working and everything. You have to get the transport. Anything over 3 years old has to be tested once a year, basically. And here we are. That's Morrison's on the left, and we're going up. And from just up here, there's a bit of wasteland after Morrison's. But apart from that, on the left, behind the row of houses you're going to see coming up on the left, there is a large industrial area. And it's one of the things I really like about Tewkesbury. Right, here I am, I've got my MOT test next month. Right, I've got this bike. It needs work on it. Specifically, there's a crack in one of the exhaust downpipes that needs welding. So where can I go for that? Well, with a few inquiries, it looks like Bod's Custom Cycles can do it, and they're on this estate out sort of on the outskirts of town. And it's so handy, Tewkesbury is just the right size for me. It's got this sort of medieval centre where I live, which is great, but it's also got these industrial places where you can get all sorts of things done, and there's all sorts of exciting firms, headquartered here, like Moog. And this row of houses out on the left here, behind that is the industrial area, where we're going to be going a bit later, because I'm going to go from Bod's to the Northway MOT centre. So I'm going to book a service and a welding up at Bod's. And then when I got that date pinned down, I am going to go to the MOT centre and book a test. The jolly friendly MOT centre. I've never been to Bod's before, so I had to look it up on Google Maps. Now again, as we go along on the left here, this is on the left behind that row of houses, it's all industrial. So you can see how big it is. I mean, there's all sorts of exciting little firms. There's a firm behind there where I take my car to be serviced as well. There's a KTM dealership behind there. There's ski type. There's all sorts of little businesses up there. Big bakery, God knows what. And here we're coming up to one of the main reasons that I think Tewkesbury is an excellent place to start a business. And that is, we're about to cross the M5. We're going to go straight across it at right angles on a bridge. It's at the roundabouts at the top here after we've been through these traffic lights. Now the M5 is the main north-south highway in England, on the west coast of the country. So if I was to, this roundabout we're coming up to, if I was to go left instead of straight ahead, which is what I'm going to be doing, I can follow that road more or less all the way to Glasgow up in Scotland. It certainly goes to Carlisle. I'm not sure whether it's been extended from Carlisle to Glasgow, but there's certainly a good road between Carlisle and Glasgow. So it runs completely north-south and south it goes past Bristol and down out into Devon and Cornwall that way. And it is the main, as I say, we're crossing it now. Right below us is the M5, which turns into the M6 after you go past Birmingham. But that is it. You see, now an excellent place if you're looking for good transport links. But as I say, we're going straight ahead, and I'm looking for bod cycles. Now, according to Google Maps, which I looked at, we passed the BP station on the right, and then it's the next right-hand turning. And again, over on the left here, is that Moog there, over on the left, the Moog headquarters? Again, it's industrial. You know, there's large industrial units you can rent, and it's still going on right now. So, to me, Tewkesbury is sort of an ideal location, really. Anything you couldn't get done in Tewkesbury, you could almost certainly get done in Gloucester and Cheltenham, which also have large sort of industrial bits. Right, there's the BP garage, and I'm looking for the next turning right, where bods should be. Oh, is that Moog on the left? Well, it's something. There's surprisingly large companies headquartered here. As you can see, there's all these industrial units, and this is only part of it. There was that other part we passed before as well. As you can see, big industrial units up here. And there's a train station behind there as well, so, you know, if you're looking for good comms, Tewkesbury is centrally placed in the country, and it has these, to my mind, excellent comms as well. Alright, here's the first turning right. I'm looking for bods, so I have a look at this turning on the left here. I decide it's not that one. So, go on a bit, and in fact, I was correct, because just around here, if you want to know where it is Bods motorcycle, Bods cycles, whatever it's called, Bods custom cycles. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's over. I've booked it in. He can do the welding on the downpipe, which is great. I'm going to see them in a few days' time. There's a friendly lady waving goodbye who books you in, and we're now going to head off to the Northway MOT centre. So we're going to be going back the way we came, but then hanging a right after we've been over the M5. Dun, 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 dun. There's a big, if I turn right here, there's sort of various ways to get to this place. There's actually a big accident down on Teddington Hands roundabout today, and it was all choked up, so hopefully I made the right guess and came this way. And we're now heading back towards that roundabout. You see these industrial units on the right there? And to be honest, I haven't noticed a lot of them being empty. Obviously they come up for rent from time to time, but it is a surprisingly busy centre, Tewkesbury. And as I say, with a sort of medieval centre and handy shops and what have you, I think it's great. I like living in Tewkesbury, and the river as well. I mean, the river is, I've been spending a lot of time sort of walking up and down the river recently, and it's really pleasant, you know. It's absolutely ideal. It's like a sort of Goldilocks place to me. Not too big, not too small, just right is how I describe it. And easy to get to. You know, if I have to go anywhere, the only drag is Heathrow, where we've got this still, after 30 years, haven't sorted out bloody Birdlip yet. But there we go. They're talking about it. They're talking about making a start on it in 2022 or something. And here we go. We're going over the M5 again. This is the roundabout. Here's a lorry. I'm not going to do any filtering in these very busy bits. I think this guy's going to, yeah, he's turning right. Going right, giving himself plenty of room. And this is, we came this way, the other way, because this is the road from the roundabout to Morrison's. But at the traffic lights, we're going to hang a right, and we're going to start sort of having a look at the Northway. And when we turn right here, it gets much more industrial. But again, it's a surprisingly... I was really surprised when I realised the extent of this sort of business industrial centre in Tewkesbury. It's great. All sorts of interesting firms down here. Screwfix, for instance. Builders, merchants, garages, rotate the car, everything. Right, now we got these houses up at the top here, but after them it more or less turns into all industry. See? Industrial units, garages. Again, little roads off to the right and left, all full. There's an Apple place down to the left, for instance. And there's little roads left and right, down which are more enterprises. And as you can see, there's all these units, some of which come up from rent from time to time. And of course the advantage of that, if you're running business, is you've got all these other businesses around you, which you may well be able to collaborate with, you know, when you're setting up your business. Now we're going to turn left here, but again, straight ahead, more industrial units, and to the right there's actually quite a large housing estate. We start getting into the sort of Northway housing estate, go over the bridge, and that's Northway housing estate. This bit's industrial again, as you can see, and we just the Northway MOT centre is along here, after I don't know what, 3/4 of a mile on the left. Again, industrial units left and right. It starts getting a bit busier up here. Units, 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 units. See, if I really would consider Tewkesbury. I mean, it's centrally located in the country. It's got great comps. I don't know what the costs and relative costs are. I mean, obviously you're going to have to do your homework, but I thought it was well worth looking into. The garage I take the car to is down there on the left. As you can see, there's ski tyres along here on the right somewhere. I think that was it. And we're sort of coming up to the MOT centre. As you can see, it's all industrial units, and there's the MOT centre right in front of us. So that is Northway MOT centre. Very friendly people. They passed the bike last year anyway. Hopefully they'll pass it after I got the welding done. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. In fact, it's going great guns, really. So, appointments made. Off we go. Now, all I'm going to do now is just head back to my place, but I'm going to go back a slightly different way. We're going to go straight across at those traffic lights where we turned left on the way here. Have a quick look at the housing estate, the Northway housing estates. And go down Hardwick Bank Road out to the Tewkesbury Breeden Road and go back into Tewkesbury that way. So we haven't done a figure of 8, we've done sort of a very strange figure of 8 with one of the loops going well wide. Okay, and we're coming up to the traffic lights and we're going to go straight across and have a look at the Northway housing estates, which have, how can I say, what's their reputation? I don't know really, I've never lived there, I don't know anything about it, to be quite honest, whether it's desirable or not, but we can certainly have a look, a quick look. Oh yeah, there's a bit of not an instant, but a good example of why you have to be constantly on the alert when you are on a motorbike coming up at these traffic lights. Now we're going to go straight across, so anything coming the other direction and turning right across us, I have right of way. Okay, now here's a lorry. I can't get up the left hand side. He's turning right, but I can't get up the left hand side until he's moved. He has moved, and meow. And that guy waved me on. Thank you, sir. And we're off. And we're just going to go over this bridge. This bridge is over the M5. Again, it's sort of like you crisscross over the M5 all round here. And once we're on the top of the bridge, we look down on the Northway estate, which is frankly big. I mean, there's lots of different parts to it. It's big, but it's one of the major housing estates on the edge of Tewkesbury. So, you know, if you're looking to move staff here, or you've got a job in Tewkesbury, this is one of the areas you want to be looking. And there it is in front of us. But we're going to turn left. It's all houses here. Nice and handy if you've got a job on the industrial estate, of course. We're going to take the left here. This is Hardwick Bank Road. And we're going to go up to, as I said before, when we get to the T-junction, we are going to be on the Tewkesbury Breed Road. As you can see, this is the housing estate. The roads are crap. They do quite a lot of work on them. They're always working on them. They're just not putting proper, you know, long-lasting repairs in places. But it's all contracted out. It's contracted out to sort of, you know, get-rich-quick merchants, really. Here is now the houses stop petering out here, or at least the sort of estate houses. But as you can see, I mean, do they look fine to you? They look fine to me. If you like living in estate environments. And here's the de-restriction sign, so we're off, and we're going to cross the M5 again. Yeah, this is the bridge over the M5, you just see it to the right there, all the way to Glasgow, that road, Carlisle in Glasgow. And slow down a bit here, because there's some driveways on the left, some concealed driveways on the left here, which occasionally I think will cools out, so you have to be a bit careful. And down to the T-junction. At the end. Lovely day, isn't it? And here we are, countryside again. Do you see what I mean? This is what I like about Tewkesbury. We've been, in all the space of a few minutes, we've been to, you know, quite a heavy industrial area with some quite large industrial concerns there, where things are actually made, and then a housing estate, and now we're in open country again. See, it's just the right size. That's one of the things I really like about it. We just go along this road, and we come into Tewkesbury down at the bottom. And we'll have a look. I've got the high street so you can just see for yourself like the contrasts that are available. I mean, when you think of it, on this little run, we have been to industrial areas, we've been to housing estates, we've been to this sort of open countryside bit. And then we'll go down Tewkesbury High Street, which is the sort of quaint medieval part. And again, I mean, I don't know, Tewkesbury High Street, I don't know, it's sort of the same forces are affecting Tewkesbury High Street as are affecting every other high street in the country. And that there's quite a few empty units, because, well, basically everyone's doing their shopping online, aren't they? And some of the shops, they're all major chains, like Poundland, Boots. You know, it tends to be W.H. Smith's, for instance. It tends to be the big boys who stay, and the little shops are continually closing down, new stuff opening. I mean, best of luck to all of them, but the same disease is affecting Tewkesbury High Street as is affecting every other high street. And it's coffee shops, it's charity shops, it's a few of the big names. But the thing that distinguishes the Tewkesbury High Street is the medieval buildings and just how pleasant it is when it's not clogged with traffic, of course. It's my favourite garage. Sell quite good petrol there, I think. Better than Morrison's. Round we go. And there's a little mini roundabout at the top here. I'm going to go across that into Tewkesbury High Street. Here you see the first of the black and whites. See? And that pub over there, is that the oldest pub in Gloucester or something? It's been closer. Is it black there? I don't know. I don't drink, so I'm not an expert on the pubs, to be quite honest. I don't really know where they are. I don't have a pub map in my head because I don't use them. But here we are. As you see, there is some modern building on the left here, but it is not nearly as bad as what's happened to Dyer Street in Cirencester, in my opinion. And that's where Tesco's is, down there on the left. But as you can see over on the right, we've got all these delightful, not medieval, but later buildings. I'm not an architect, so I can't tell you the exact time they're built, but a lot of them built in the 18th century. And as we get further down the high street, a lot, some of them built in the 15th century, so 14 something. The house I live in was built in 16 something, the 17th century. You reckon it was built between 1620 and 1640. There's another black and white on the right there. And as we go deeper, there's another black and white coming up on the right here. Can you see these medieval buildings with the top floors canted out? And then it's mixed in with other stuff. There's Victorian stuff, there's Georgian stuff, there's all sorts. But this is the sort of centre of town, and it is a very pleasant place, I think. Anyway, as you can see, Smiths, etc. And as I say, little shops tend to open and close. And we're going to end the video just as we're going to go right around the war memorial, this little roundabout here. We're going to end the video. And that was a little trip round, all sides of Tewkesbury, really. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for listening. See you next time.